Okay, so digging into the sources you sent us for today, there's this, well, honestly, this totally wild idea presented, making serious money online, but like by not being visible at all. It feels completely counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially now with personal brands and, chasing followers being so huge.
It absolutely does.
Hmm.
Almost everything we hear is you have to be seen, you have to be loud, build that massive personal brand. But these sources, they actually lay out something pretty different, something they're calling the invisible income strategy.
Exactly, the invisible income strategy. And the core idea, it seems, isn't about you becoming some kind of online celebrity or influencer.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Hmm.
It's more about building like substantial digital wealth, but doing it completely under the radar.
Right. Being discreet, being smart about it, and letting clever systems do the heavy lifting instead of, your face or your personality.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive, then, based on the material you've provided, is to really unpack how this strategy is supposed to work, focusing on those specific ways they described for earning online while staying quiet.
Let's get into it. So the foundation, according to these sources, is building what they describe as digital assets.
Hmm.
And these assets essentially function as, I think they call them quiet money machines.
Okay, quiet money machine. So not making yourself the star, but building things that generate income more or less autonomously.
Precisely, yeah. And the sources get pretty specific about what kinds of assets they actually mean. They talk about things like niche websites.
Mm.
Websites designed purely to rank high on search engines for, really specific keywords. The site owner,
Yeah.
totally anonymous.
Okay.
Or faceless YouTube channels, the kind that might use stock footage or animation, maybe even an AI voiceover. Again, the creator is completely unknown. They also bring up automated e-commerce stores,
Mhm.
often using things like white label or drop-shipped products that are rebranded anonymously, and even like silent affiliate blogs, just built purely for SEO traffic around product reviews or comparisons.
Huh. And here's where it gets really interesting based on what I read in the sources. These income streams, they don't rely on personal followers, right? Or likes or direct engagement with you.
Exactly. That's key. What they rely on are systems that are designed to run basically 247. You build the asset, the website, the channel, whatever you set at the system.
The system being.
Well, it could be optimizing really well for Google's algorithm or properly understanding YouTube's discoverability features, how it suggests videos,
Mm.
or setting up automated order fulfillment for an e-commerce thing. And then the system works in the background, quietly.
Okay, give us an example. How does that system part work for this invisible approach, say for the website?
Well, okay, to take the niche website ranking on Google, the sources really highlight targeting what they call long-tail keywords.
Ah, right, those super specific search terms.
Exactly. The highly specific, usually less competitive search terms that the really giant brands often ignore. Like, instead of just dog bed, maybe something like best waterproof orthopedic dog bed for senior golden retrievers,
Mm,
you know?
gotcha. Much more specific.
Yeah. And an anonymous site, if it's built expertly around maybe hundreds of these different terms, can capture really motivated traffic, people looking for something very specific. And it does this without needing broad visibility or having to battle the major players head on.
Okay, that makes sense. Or that faceless YouTube channel example you mentioned. How does that get views if nobody knows who the person behind it is?
So the sources explain it's really about mastering the platform's mechanics, things like titles, thumbnails, tags, and really understanding how YouTube's algorithm suggests videos based on the content itself and viewer watch history. It's not about the creator's fame at all. You're building a channel optimized for discovery by the platform, not reliant on a personal following you've had to build up over time.
That's smart. So you're leveraging the platforms themselves as the sort of distribution network, totally separate from personal branding.
Hmm.
And what's fascinating here, something else mentioned, is the kind of hidden benefit. This invisibility, it protects your mental bandwidth, doesn't it?
Yes, the sources make that point really strongly. There's no need to constantly perform online, no pressure to chase fleeting trends just to stay relevant. And maybe importantly, a massive reduction in exposure to online negativity. The trolls, the constant criticism.
Right, which can be exhausting. It actually becomes a kind of competitive edge then.
Yeah, you could see it that way.
While everyone else is maybe clamoring for attention, dealing with all the stress that comes with that visibility, these invisible earners are just quietly focused, building these automated assets.
And importantly, staying free from all that noise and drama, focusing on the work.
So if we kind of connect this to the bigger picture these sources seem to be painting, It really highlights that the ultimate goal online doesn't have to be fame or influence or validation through attention.
Exactly. It can simply be, say, financial freedom, or maybe building sustainable wealth, achieved through really clever system design and, well, strategic anonymity.
Okay, so let's quickly recap this deep dive based on the material you provided us with. The invisible income strategy, fundamentally, it's about building those quiet money machines we talked about. Things like niche sites optimized for specific keywords, those faceless channels leveraging platform algorithms, or automated e-commerce setups, digital assets powered by systems.
Right. Systems that work constantly without needing you to be the public face.
And it prioritizes those automated systems and that strategic positioning over personal branding.
Which frees you from the pressure, like we said, of chasing followers or constantly dealing with negativity online.
Yeah, in essence, it sort of leverages invisibility as a unique competitive advantage in a world that seems, frankly, saturated with attention seeking.
hmm And this brings us a really important question, one posed directly by the source material itself. It's something for you listening to maybe consider after this deep dive.
Hmm.
In a world that seems absolutely obsessed with attention, is your ultimate goal online visibility? Or is it freedom?
A thought to definitely sit with.